Hello, folks. We are back after yet another short break. Back here at Star Metal Productions for the continuation of At Its Core, our Substratum Protocol series. We actually took a little time just to ourselves to refresh because August has been beating us up, and actually I think July before then did a very good job. Marinating us for that. So, we're finally back. I think we're fairly refreshed, and I'm certainly ready to go. So, any important announcements before we start? I think I am going to do a slight bit longer of a recap slash retcon, because I will admit things got a little away from me towards the end of the last session. Something you rarely hear a GM admit to, especially on camera. But I think that's fine. If something gets away from you, just admit it, clean it up, and move forward. We are working on a new potential show. I was hoping to have that announcement for today, but we don't. So stay tuned. Announcing an announcement is always fun and suspenseful.
Tomorrow morning we plan.
Right, yeah. At dawn we plan. Okay, well, I think we just need to crack our knuckles and get right into this. So, last we left our two intrepid scientists on their long and arduous journey towards the center of the Earth and source of the source of, well, whatever catastrophic calamity is rending the Earth apart. Way up top, thousands of kilometers above them, the planet is slowly cracking like an egg, large fissures appearing all over the globe, the largest of which is now housing the Fracture Observatory, which these two scientists are from. They've already traveled through a number of arduous and increasingly strange and unusual paranatural ecosystems, people, and other such just strange phenomenon. And we last left off with Dr. Undermoon, played by Tal here, and Dr. Sampson Daring, played by the Eye. Had to wait for the overlay. Down in what is referred to as the Particle Grove, a radiation-laden jungle deep underground. Took a bit of a climb to get down there. Took a bit of a fall to get down there. And the assistance of some strange alien creatures that they just left above them in the previous sector, who seem to, if you are to believe them, built the Earth from the core up in stages, and has helped direct evolution and society to a smaller degree for eons. But down here in the Particle Grove, our two scientists started moving through carefully. They determined that the plants here seem to leach radiation from the ground and to a lesser extent, the surrounding air, and have grown into these massive megaflora. California redwood-sized trees, gigantic vial plume-like flowers, gigantic ferns of various different shapes and spikes. But it's been a long time since I think either of our scientists have seen this dazzling array of color and life. It's been a lot of rock walls and caverns and crystals and metal. Weird tendrils. But somehow, 4,000 kilometers down, give or take, is a massive jungle. So trudging through that, they started to notice something out of the corner of their eye. Strange apparitions popping up beside them as they continued to move forward, drawing ever closer, and with that, ever more crisp in their form, until one of them decided to, well, greet Dr. Sampson Daring. This glowing sort of radiation being, a sort of dull yellow energy person, seemingly just stepped right into his exosuit and began taking control. All systems were out of the doctor's control, and this being piloted, for lack of a better word, the suit that he was wearing, beginning to trudge off in random directions, seemingly without any sort of purpose, but slowly learning how to use this machine, this being, this thing, whatever it is. And after a lot of trial and error, and pointedly less trial and error than they will remember because we're retconning a little bit, but it seems that through a little trial and error, tinkering with the suit's nuclear power core, they have determined that these are beings of pure radiation of some form that seem to be contained within either a self-generating or localized magnetic field. And it is this magnetic field that encapsulates the nuclear plasma that powers the suit and creates the nuclear microfusion generator. And they seem to be maybe drawn to it, curious about it, attacking it. You're not sure. It's a tough question whether these things are even sentient, or if they're simply some sort of phenomenon or semi-sentient entity that is mimicking, consuming. You're not sure. But something about the magnetic field of your suits, or specifically your suit power core, and the micro sun in a bottle that you picked up from a previous sector, both seem to have drawn the attention of these creatures. And I believe, unless my two colleagues here have anything to add or questions to ask, we can jump back in. So I believe we will pick up right where we left off, the camera coming into focus, fading in from black as the drone, the Beep Boobop, as it's called, the AI-powered drone that accompanies their suit, or at least Dr. Undermoon's suit. Dr. Daring sacrificed his long ago. Dropped that container with the micro sun, and almost immediately the radiation apparition, it's a fun combo of words, pulled itself out of the Beepo Bop, and that too crashed to the ground, bouncing and sputtering quickly. And our camera will focus in from the focus immediate, blur a little bit, and focus in on the wider scene of Dr. Daring beginning to gain some mobility, some functionality back as Dr. Undermoon completes whatever tinkering he was doing. I will leave it to you two.
And then the final wire. Yes, that should be it. How does that feel?
Dr. Daring will attempt to wiggle his fingers and toes and move around a little bit, roll his shoulders, make sure everything's back in order. He looks down at himself and looks over, and the entities are still clustered around those objects, right?
Yes. The one that was in your suit just prior to us opening up has just stepped out and is sort of staring back and forth at the two of you.
Thank you, Doctor. Can I attempt to see if these entities have a specific polarity?
Yes, magnetic fields do indeed have polarity sometimes, and sometimes they don't, and then sometimes they don't, but then also do sometimes. Magnets are crazy. I tried looking it up. We're sci-fi techno babble because I do not have a doctorate in fucking magnets. How do they work? So I think that sounds like
Why? See, there's no like. It would be a think and something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which currently my think is at a D4.
Sorry, I shouldn't.
I think think and make would probably be the best combination.
Cool. 2D4s. Wonderful.
Oh,
Great start.
I mean,
we're moving on up.
You can argue for something else, or you could choose to take a deep breath and decrement or increment all of your dice back up to maximum in exchange for a complication.
Well, I would only be raising one of them by one iteration, so probably not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like this is
flashback.
I could have a flashback. And what's that do exactly again?
It is it's a card flip off. So
I don't want to use cards. I need to upgrade. I need to upgrade. I think I'm just stuck. I think I just have to believe in the spirit of the cards.
Yep.
Go on,
right.
Yuki, you can do it.
So we go and think and make to try to determine the correct magnetic polarity. Well, it's not starting off well with it.
No, that's not starting off. No.
And
no.
The jack as well.
Well, I can't even pass it, so I fail. Cool. Great start.
No.
Great start.
I can only apologize, and I have no control over this.
No, it's not you. Not you.
Every single card. All right. Well, that is a complete failure.
Yep.
So
roll the nat 1 as a first time back.
Basically, yeah. Basically.
Oh man. Oh, and your stress is really high as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
We're at a good spot right now.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
While you finally regained mobility from your suit, the desperate suit, as it is so fondly referred to.
Mm-hmm.
And you break out some of your scientific equipment, try to get a read on the creature's magnetism and any sort of radiation it might be putting out, comparing that to the localized ambient radiation and any radiation sources from some of the megaflora around here. Trying to get as close as possible or probe it in various ways without instigating it. And trying to tweak some of your equipment and some of the magnetism of various components that you have in order to see what works, what they react to positively, what seems to make them shudder away. And unfortunately, while you are doing this, well, Dr. Daring, you are first and foremost an anthropologist. And while you are quite learned in a number of other degrees to a lesser extent, apparently the study of the electromagnetic spectrum is not one of your fortes. And in doing so, playing with the various scientific equipments and trying to modulate some of the equipment that you have, you create a sort of small magnetic pulse, a very minor EMP, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Both of your suits and the Beepo Bop basically do an emergency shutdown, and you see these clusters of radiation specters sort of shimmer and twitch, and they even move their arms, their entire body, like they're in pain, or they're afraid, or they're being dissipated in some way. And all you can do for a few seconds is stand there as your suit is entirely powered down, and both basically in large ceramic composite tombs. But the suits were designed for this, and you immediately get a reboot, and quickly functionality is starting.
My poor suit's been rebooted twice in like 5 minutes.
Yep. I think that being the case, you pointed it out there. I think you gain a point of stress again, because being out of control of your suit repeatedly for extended durations is not fun. So I will mark that on the overlay here. And yeah, all right, that puts you into the next category of insanity.
Yep.
But before we get to that, as your suits begin to, as they do reboot, you hear the servos in your joints power up, and you get movement back. Your HUD comes back online. These creatures, if they are creatures around you, are just coming out of that sort of static twitching state, but they're still sort of jittery. And they're all turned to the two of you. And in a sort of stuttery, almost, The Ring, is it? With the girl who climbs out of the TV and stutters forward. In a very stuttery, almost winking their way forward, they begin to grow closer, still twitching, still, I don't want to say clearly agitated, but you could certainly make that assumption.
Awesome. Okay. Right. Okay. I've got.
Are you ready to make your roll where you get a 2 and a 3? Because I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
That's how it's going to go.
Okay. I've got an idea. So based on seeing what happened when the good doctor tried to, look at these magnetic forces, Dr. Undermoon's thinking, I wonder if I could bounce some of the magnetic forces off each other using the radiation from some of these plants and create almost like a buffer zone for us to make a run for it where they wouldn't be able to follow us. So it's ideally, I'd like to reverse the polarity, please.
Yes.
And I have been waiting years to do that.
There you go. In every sci-fi ever, somebody has to at some point reverse some polarity.
Yep, and that's my plan.
Dr. Chekhov,
it's almost like to create a. My plan is to almost try to create a cage, if you like. So by trying to reverse the polarity based on these creatures and the fauna that's around them, I wonder if I could create a cage which they're at the center of and cannot escape from because the polarity is reversed and it's buffering them.
Right. Well, I think despite the complication that Dr. Daring had with his equipment, his magnetometers and whatnot, you did actually gain information. Unfortunately, it was the act in doing so that created a bit more of a problem. So you do have something to work with there, and even before encountering these beings, you did some, at least preliminary, poking around at the plants and such. Unfortunately, you are going to be doing this at, while these entities, whatever they are seemingly converging
Mm-hmm.
and it would probably be a good idea to begin your retreat while you start to, throw things together.
I'm absolutely. I think that is. I'm quite happy with that.
All right.
So, kind of running whilst making calculations and kind of as we go past certain fauna, trying to, tap into the polarity and fix things up. So, yeah.
Right.
So, dash, do we think?
Yeah, that's that. Well, it sounds like
Dash and
Or
think, it
evade.
sounds like.
dash and make.
Yeah.
I think would be most appropriate, because I imagine
Okay.
you're creating some sort of small device that you're going to slap on some of these plants.
Yeah,
and as they run by, you kind of Faraday cage.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. That's what I had in my mind.
All right.
So that's
All right, let's
D8.
see that. Let's see that ace and that 2. Let's see it. Come on. Come on.
Right, so I've got a D8 and a D6.
All right. That's fair odds. I almost
got
don't
for
even
it?
want to flip this card. Okay, a 10.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
That's up
All
there.
right.
A little bit
there.
more
Okay.
challenging.
All right.
And a
Okay.
9.
Okay. All right. It's not completely biased against me. All
It's
right.
going to be a tough session for both of you this time.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
it seems
so-
like we got almost all the. We got a lot of
Big ones,
ice cards in this one so far. So
Yeah.
Okay, so D6. Come on.
fucking fuck.
Starting
D8.
off strong.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody listening? That's a 10, which passes both of his checks.
Yep. Go ahead and grab those 2 cards, Tal.
Would you like another upgrade, Tal? Would you like another upgrade? I think you would like another upgrade. I think that'd be good for you.
I'm so sorry. Oh.
I think
Woo,
Dr.
there we
Daring
go.
has taken so much stress, it is bleeding back over through the fourth wall. Yes, that puts Tal here, Dr. Undermoon, at 9 cards in his pocket. Once again, plenty to work with. Okay. Well, Dr. Undermoon. It seems you were paying a lot more attention in class when the teacher was going over the electromagnetic spectrum and all the physics and math and strange Tesla-like calculations to perform. And with a quick montage of the two of you bounding through this very bioluminescent, colorful jungle, we see in a small montage your hands rapidly moving together, taking spare pieces and very quickly printing off what you need. And you run past a big tree and slap on one of these devices, and run past a large, almost like pineapple-looking thing. You slap one on there, wait for these entities to move forward, find a large rock and another strange, like big glowing mushroom. And just as the two of you push past that boundary, you can flip on that switch, and you see a slight shimmer in the air going through these 4 points. And those entities, whatever they are stuck sort of in the center there, slowly vibrating and twitching. They do seem to be contained.
Good job, Doctor. You're so amazing.
Look,
Dr.
if
Daring
I'm going
is
to be,
done with all
if
of
I
this.
am the token human in this, right? I'm going to be the best damn human I can be.
That's a good point. I'm the chosen one. I shouldn't be going through this shit.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm just normal.
Apparently not. Apparently you're the knowledge.
Someone took the human paragon trait.
Yes. Well, that really is fascinating. I I find it interesting that they're not outside the laws of our natural science. I mean, we've seen some incredibly strange things, but there appears to be some basic laws which even they must obey.
I do not know if we have come across anything that would be considered anti-science yet. Sure, strange phenomenon, but I do not think that they were necessarily working against the physics of the universe. I think that there's just some things that we just don't know yet.
But that restores my faith in everything we're doing. That all of our reason and everything we've seen is based in scientific fact and the principle of experimenting and the laws we have in place, and the fact that those things are still true no matter how warped and how different some of them might be in certain circumstances. It means one thing: science is everything.
Of this, we have no disagreement. Well, now that we have gotten out of that particular situation, maybe we should, Why are you laughing, Doctor? I don't understand why you're so...
Right. Sorry.
Yes, Dr. Rabble. Well, where do we go from here? And I hope that you have another one of those things handy in case more of these entities begin to pursue us.
Well, the way I've designed it, hopefully it's created enough of a containment area that all the ones we've seen previously have been kept behind. So I believe we should be safe for the time being. Although I do wonder what their ultimate goal was with a different form of life, but still needing to obey our laws. Fascinating.
They could have just been working off of their own version of instinct and feeding needs. Not necessarily any specific goals in mind other than survival. Well,
Kind of raw, primal energy with some form of consciousness. Fascinating.
any suggestions where we...
Well, I was going to say, does that give us any clues as to the greater mystery from understanding that there is this? We've now encountered a not necessarily sentient, but a creature of some kind that's beyond our understanding. But have we learned anything from these creatures that might lead us to more understanding about the portal?
I think you're still just a step or two away from being able to put pieces together. I think you have a number of pieces. I just don't know if you have an idea of how to put them together.
Yeah. Cool.
So you could
continue.
You could continue exploring the environment, poking at some of the things I have mentioned, or you could use some of your exosuit abilities, sensor deployment, in which I ask you a question and your answer becomes canon, or basically the opposite, radioing back to the observatory, where you ask a question and I will give you an answer on success. Or any combination of actions.
I wonder if we would gain any
I was going to suggest actually studying the plants and actually like trying to chisel one open and seeing the innards of this thing, the makeup of its sap, if it has any, seeing why, because the plants themselves are giving off radiation as well, right? Or are they absorbing radiation?
They are absorbing more intense forms of radiation, and that seems to be providing some sort of nourishment for them, and then they are exuding much less dangerous forms of radiation. More
so like how
particles.
they probably go through some sort of plant thing where they consume CO2, but then there's another at the nighttime they'll consume the oxygen and they still make. Guessing it's something along those lines. So I'm going to attempt to study one of these plants by taking samples, seeing the inner structure of the closest thing to me.
Okay. Well, that sounds
like a break and it's probably going to break and think.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Which is again 2d4s.
Yeah.
Because the thing I put stats into fucking is useless.
I mean, I've given you a fair amount of things to talk to, considering your presence of hunters underground.
You can do this. You can do this. You're going to get some low cards. It's going to be fine.
I will also mention, because you are let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm at 7.
Okay, all right. You are not yet beyond the horizon.
Yeah. Oh, and that means I'm at -3 for this roll too, right?
You're at -2.
Okay, -2. So it needs to be an ace and a 2, basically.
You got this. You're going to get like a 4 and a 6.
It's 2d4s.
Yeah, -2. You just need 2d4.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I've got faith. You're gonna kill this one.
Nope.
That's
I just looked up for a second. For a mere second, I looked up. I went, no. Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's get all of these out of the way. Let's just. That's another 2 failures.
Oh God, that's so harsh.
I'm not exactly sure where this all went wrong for you, Doctor. But it just seems to keep rolling down the hill.
That's 2 jacks for anyone who's not paying attention fully. Yeah. Give me that stress. Let me go fully bonkers.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you take your final point of stress.
Yep.
And are now beyond the horizon, as it were.
But that might help.
Sure.
So, we'll go into what that means after resolving this. But Dr. Daring, you head over to I don't know. You know what? How about you describe some sort of crazy radiation plant that you go and mess with? What does this thing look like?
So Dr. Daring, having gone through all this stuff he's been going through lately, decides, nope, I'm gonna just push through. This'll be the time. This'll be the time that I get this done. And he goes over to this beautiful looking flower that is shimmering with iridescent light and even seems to like almost flicker in a kind of a glow when you touch it in the right spot. And he reaches down and he basically he takes the plant and he attempts to gently cut into it with a small blade. And when he does that, the blade melts. And he looks at it for a second and realizes that with him slicing this thing open, that there is an exusion, like almost an exhaust of pure radiation that like starts to like eat away at his suit slightly, and he pulls back. But there has now been damage, and now his blade is gone.
Yes. So cutting into the stem or the bulb of this plant, your Geiger counter immediately starts crackling rapidly, and as you said, your carbon ceramic knife, which should hold up to a lot, has begun to melt, which is definitely strange for a ceramic composite. But you managed to quickly backpedal with the radiation warnings blaring on your HUD. You are still safe. You might be a little queasy for a few hours, maybe get a little blistering, but you certainly have not been lethally exposed. However, once you have moved back far enough, and you are content that your Geiger count gone down, you checked all of your systems, you can actually see that where you cut into this plant, aside from spiking radiation, you can probably zoom in with one of your ocular devices and see that inside the stem of this thing, and reaching up into the bulb where you cut, are what almost looks like tubules, wires, even. It's not that gooey inside of a plant. It's almost it looks actually to be fairly reminiscent of like fiber optic cable with a kind of organic flavor to it.
Well, Dr. Daring is currently queasy and feeling like he's going to retch, so he sits down and tries to take a breath for a minute. Not wanting to mess up the inside of his suit. And he tries to motion over Dr. Undermoon and say, perhaps you should take a look at that.
Oh. Are you okay, Doctor? Can I assist you in any way?
Yeah, upgrade my suit.
Give me your cards, you cheat.
No, I'll be fine. Just see what you can find out.
Okay.
I think we've pulled
it.
I think we've pulled every jack in the no, wait. Okay, we've pulled three jacks and
I've got the
3
other
kings. You have the jack. Okay, so that's all the jacks. We pulled 3 kings, 4 jacks.
At least 2 queens.
Shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Before we get to Dr. Undermoon, to detail your level of stress, you are now beyond the horizon. So those 2 skills that were at a D4 decrement even further to a D2.
Yep. What were they again? It was break and think, I think.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
However, you now automatically succeed at understanding checks. The understand action, which is specifically to gain knowledge from a portal clue. Not to gain the portal clue, but to comprehend it. And additionally, every time you take an action, you collect both cards regardless of the outcome.
Goodie.
So even though you will likely continue to fail and fail and fail, you will finally start to accumulate cards.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You haven't gotten to this point yet, right? Tal? No, and I've done it twice.
Not
Yeah.
even close.
No.
No, I've got as far as I think the furthest I got was into my orange in terms of my
Yep.
stress.
Yeah.
But I don't think I haven't got any lower than that.
Yep.
Okay. So if these look like fiber optic cables, that to me would suggest that they're transmitting possibly data. And if they're transmitting data, one, I'd like to try and work out what kind of data it actually is. And two, where does the data go? I.e., is there a, it's obviously going down and into stuff, but can I... Okay, so actually, better question. Is there data coming through these cables? And if there is, can I decrypt it to try and understand it? That's probably what I would want to try and do.
Okay.
And so, okay, let's have a look at this first. I'm thinking. So, yeah, before I do that, I think what I'm going to do is, so if I upgrade my suit, does it reset my dice?
I think
Let me
so.
just scroll up. I think so. It doesn't touch stress, but I believe. Where is actually? Do I have it here? Yes. Oh no, it's just the opposite. Clear all stress, gain 1 additional stress capacity. It does reset all skills to max. It's basically level up. You reset. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I think based off the information that I've kind of gained from trapping those entities, what I want to try and do is go, well, if I did this with the suit. So the way I kind of think of the upgrade would be almost he's got a slightly better understanding of how the radiation could increase the power of his suit because he's seen a few different things. So I'd like to trade in 8 cards, please.
Okay.
To upgrade. How do I just pull them out? I can't remember. I think I do. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And yeah, so I would like to. I'd like to upgrade my suit, please.
Okay. Which of your skills are you upgrading?
It's a good question. I think. So at the moment, my sway's not great, but I'm not too worried about that. I think it would make sense to. I'm going to make my dash a D10 because it's a D8 at the moment.
Okay. And an extra point of stress cap. Okay.
Cool. So that's reset. 10. Cool.
So I imagine you take the readings from those electromagnetic entities you encountered, some of the readings from the radiation here, and are able to further refine the magnetic containment of your fusion reactor, your microfusion reactor, and increase the power output without increasing any sort of harmful side effects or instability.
Yeah. Awesome.
So
So now I'd like to see if I can decode the information that might be running through these kind of fiber optic cables.
okay.
So I guess what I would do is I would, I think what I would try to do is try to make a program to see if I can decode information that's running through these cables.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that sounds like think and make to me.
Yeah.
We get a lot of that with scientists. A lot of think and make.
Yes.
Yes, I need to draw some cards.
Okay, should I get rid of these? So I just
Yeah, you can just drag them over to the discard pile there.
Cool. Okay.
Look at all those amazing little cards. Look at those. Look at those right there.
All right, so your actual cards to beat in this, another 10. Yeah, we were really backloaded with the face cards here.
Yeah.
And
There it is. There it is.
It's a tough one for you.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got a
what do you got for
D10 and a D8.
Very doable.
Don't say that.
You need to fail at least one. No, I'm not giving that to you. No.
4.
Barn alarm.
Feel my pain.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well.
So
Good thing you just reset your stress.
Hang on. Yeah, no, just hang on. Right. So okay. At this point, can I use a flashback? What would a flashback do? Let me re-roll my lowest.
That is something you have to declare before you make the roll, because if you fail, it gives you disadvantage.
Yes, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I can't do anything then. I will have to accept my failure. Well, oh well. Well, oh no. Oh dear. That's really not. Oh no, I'm not getting any useful information from this at all.
So I think actually, Tal, I think we have gotten to the point of I think we have to fail forward at this point.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Because we're coming up against the greatest danger of any D&D party, failing a lockpick sort of situation. So once again, I think this is a failure at cost, just to keep us moving forward.
Yep.
So this actually takes a bit of time, because it's a lot more complicated than you originally suspect.
Yep.
And you can trace some of the roots of these plants down underground, because the topsoil here is in fact topsoil, and even above that a little bit of detritus from just the forest. And you can dig down a bit and actually find that that cabling runs not only throughout the plant, but seems to comprise its root structure as well, or at least a good deal of it. And these tubules do seem to be taking radiation from the ground and pulling it up through the plant and allowing it to gain some sort of nourishment from that. But it is still electromagnetic in nature, and therefore falls somewhere in that spectrum. And indeed, the the output. I don't necessarily want to say waste product, but the byproduct of this radiosynthesis, let's say, is a combination of alpha particle radiation and some sort of, as you said, code transmission of some kind. And it takes you a couple plants, moving from plant to plant, different types of plants, a tree to a mushroom to a flower to a fern, trying to figure out what the common denominator is. And they all have that cabling root structure underneath. And as you are putting together this program and beginning to pick up this signal on whatever receivers you have calibrated for this, you begin to, you don't notice it at first. You're typing away at things. You're looking at the oscillation of the frequencies, and then you realize you really have a headache. And then your nose starts to bleed. And you really have a headache. I am going to take 2 stress away from you there, because this is a sort of forced failing forward.
Yep.
And that really is just in the form of an intense flash of headache and what's the scientific term? Vertigo. An intense headache, a sudden flash of vertigo. You get this sort of cold sweat, and you sway a bit and actually have to catch yourself on a knee.
Dr. Daring just looks up. You too, huh?
And we've been going at this for quite some time, so I guess there's a certain amount of weariness to us as well, and dragged our bodies through quite a few challenges.
Both of you, I imagine, have personally lost track of the time you have spent down here, but your suit can tell you you've been down here for over a year. It's a long journey. So you are definitely, you realize that this sensation you does seem to, with your keen scientific mind, does seem to correlate to the fact that you are now receiving whatever broadcast this is, and in its unrefined state, its natural state, or however you are receiving it, is not pleasant. But that may not be its intent.
Yeah.
Would you like to poke and prod any forward,
Yes.
any further, or use any exosuit systems?
Yeah, because I part of me is kind of although I feel like crap, I'm still fascinated by the information I'm finding. So I guess it's God, this would really be. I think this would be more. This would be more my good colleagues' realm of experience, because kind of, I guess, translating this into a language we can understand would be more your field of expertise, Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, I do have my universal translator, so
So I think what I'd probably do is I'd probably gather all the data and just sit down next to Dr. Daring and just be like, look at all this information. It clearly is connected, and some of it's data and some of it's feelings and the byproduct of that. But it must mean something. It must have intent. Do you think?
Can I argue that in order to really pursue this
I am listening. I've just put my dogs out.
Yep. To pursue this further, and to do it quickly to get the maximum amount of information, Dr. Daring would have to go from plant to plant quickly, gathering the information, seeing where this is going, how it's being translated, to translate it quickly. Would I be able to do a dash universal translator check?
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm going to do with 2 d8s. We'll see if I can do this with 2 d8s.
Let's see what. Oh, that is actually the end of the cards there.
So all of those faces are going back in.
Yeah. Well, Tal did just drop a whole bunch of smaller cards.
Yeah, we'll see if I get any of them.
Yeah. All right. I got to get rid of all of these and shuffle the deck. We do not need the Joker.
Better press that. You better like fast click that shuffle button.
All right. I'll shuffle it again for good measure.
Mhm.
There we go. All right. What do we got? 7. Not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And an ace.
Thank the gods.
There you go.
Okay.
That's
2d8.
automatically a partial success.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Son of a bitch.
Plus the -2 from your insanity.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, you can take that ace and unfortunately discard this 7.
Yep.
He gets to.
You get both of them, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I do get both cards. That's
Yes. Because you are beyond the horizon. Even a failure gives you something that you can work with.
Yep.
And I think this is fairly appropriate. So yeah, you are moving quickly from plant to plant, trying to take readings as simultaneously as possible to see what the difference is, see if there's any communication, running all sorts of scientific tests to find how they might differ and oscillate and otherwise be the same. And yeah, you have to play with the intensity of this transmission. You have to bring it up from a signal that is just so far above the human range of hearing. Which direction is radio? Is that more towards infrared or ultraviolet? I don't remember. Either way.
Radio is towards the bottom.
Okay. Yes. So you have to raise it up from its deep subharmonic level. And at first, again, playing with this yourself, opening up your receiver to this cacophony of information, you too begin to get a little bit of headache. Not as much as it seems your colleague is suffering from. But you're also very much not the same anymore. And you begin to hear this almost discordant melody. It sounds like music, but music that is, it's like a band of individuals who are very good individually at their instrument, but have never practiced with each other, and they're just all off by a little bit. And it is a cacophony. It would probably sound, well, a lot better. I'm not sure if it to what that final product would be. But it seems, going through this, that excuse me, there is a harmony to all of the megaflora around here, and at least locally, something has thrown that out of balance, and you suspect it was the very act of tapping these plants, cutting into them to try to gain information, probing them with various scientific tools, adjusting, your own transmitters and whatnot, and something in the back of your almost alien mind now kind of confirms the hunch for you that the area you are in is kind of hurting. This discord, this cacophony of blaring almost music may be the result of your very probing into it, and perhaps either moving further afield or doing something to help ease and soothe the plants around you might realign those harmonies into something that is non-stress inducing, or may provide some further information.
Would we be able to see a general direction that this information is flowing to and follow that?
It actually seems like all of the plants here are sort of communicating to each other. It's
But no like central node.
not other than the fact that all of the source of all of this seems to be coming
Coming from where you blanked out.
seems to be coming from underground.
Oh, so we'd have to go down, which... Okay. Then I guess my last bit of question would be, is there a way in this massive cavern, maybe using Dr. Undermoon's beep boop bop, to basically find the center of this thing, of this cavern? Sure, like basically triangulate where the center of this would be and seeing if there's maybe a central plant that is...
So, actually, I think this may have come up last time, but it's been a while for us, and it may or may not have been clear. You are not necessarily in a self-encapsulated cavern. Given the readings your Beepo Bop has been able to take of the canopy, the curvature of the horizon, as it were, this looks like you are in a shell. It is a sphere. You are down near the center of the earth, and this cavern is the size of this entire layer.
Oh, it's so basically, if I were to look at a sphere, it is the whole inside of a particular part of that sphere.
Yeah, you are seeing a sphere, and then presumably under the ground there is a sphere that is, the next depth sector.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess the only thing we can really do is continue to explore.
Yeah, you could walk in one direction and eventually make it back to where you started.
Right.
So that would take a very, very, very long time.
Right. Okay, yeah, I guess we're just going to have to continue to explore, I guess.
Okay.
That's all we can do, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, to keep us moving forward, you do determine this, and moving around looking for more plants you can interact with, or simply more oddities, more phenomenon, something that will give you just that last piece of the puzzle you need. How close together are you staying, and is somebody taking the lead, or are you just meandering within shouting distance of each other?
I think we'd stay together considering the dangers we've already come across.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who would be the one with the machete cutting things down, as it were?
Oh, that's Dr. Daring, 100%.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I would like you to make an evade check
Evade
is-
and dash.
Yeah, dash would certainly work. I'd say that's probably the standard evade roll.
Okay, so that'd be 2d6s.
All right. You
You got
are
this.
moving through the dense underbrush and detritus of this jungle when you realize you place a foot down and the ground is not as solid as it has been.
Oh no.
So we got 10 of clubs and another ace. All right.
I got one. I get both, but I fail one as per usual.
Yep.
But you know what that means? I can upgrade my
You can.
goddamn.
It took going insane twice,
Yes.
I think, before we got there.
Yes.
All right.
Brilliant. Do.
So you put your foot down, and instead of feeling the firm earth beneath you, allowing you to push right back off and continue walking forward, goes straight through the underbrush of the forest floor here. But it is thankfully dense enough and your reaction time quickly enough that you sort of throw yourself to one side and your whole, let's say, right leg just collapses down under the ground as it seems. You sort of scramble to prevent yourself from falling any further or getting stabbed or well, you're in a very heavy cyber suit. But managed to avoid any sort of danger, any sort of damage other than quick jostling. But your foot, your whole leg, in fact, part of your body, crashes through the underbrush, and you realize as you are shaking your way out, and starting to pull away at the vines and the bushes, you realize there is a sizable hole in the ground here. I assume your colleague, Dr. Undermoon, will help you out of this precarious
Right, of course.
situation.
Oh,
And
that'd be
prodding
helpful, Doctor.
around the area, you can find that this overgrowth of the jungle floor seems to have spread over a pretty massive hole. It's got to be at least let's say a little more than 3 meters in diameter. So it's somewhere around 10, 12 feet in diameter.
Well, now that we give me a moment. I need to before we go any further. And Dr. Daring will go and upgrade his goddamn suit.
All right. So go ahead and drop 8 cards.
Yeah. I want to get rid of the lower cards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. Ah.
All right.
Yeah. All right, and I think I want to upgrade my
Sway.
yeah. Do I want to upgrade my think to a D8 or my break to a D8 or my dash to a D10? I think I want to upgrade my think to a D8.
Good call.
Sure. And +1 stress capacity.
I'm no longer mad.
All right. Yeah. We can. Where are we at here on your stress? That down just a tad. All right. Okay. I do believe you have gotten rid of this. Sorry, I'm mumbling. I will. There we go. Okay. So while you are tinkering with your exosuit there, Dr. Daring, the two of you feel a slight rumbling of the ground. You can see some of the branches of the trees and ferns, some of the lower ones beginning to shake and sway a bit. And there's this almost trilling sound. Very, very quiet. This sort of very quiet, high-pitched shrilling sound. Specifically, if you stop and listen, take acoustic readings of the environment, it seems to be reverberating up out of this hole that you found. And actually, you can also see there's quite a lot of those filament tubule roots that have broken through and sort of stick out and cling to the walls of this hole.
And can we see how deep this hole is?
It looks like it goes down about 4 or 5 meters or so before it seems to curve out of vision.
And there's no stupid question. There's nothing that looks like teeth around the top of it or anything along those lines.
Jack, is this a sarlacc? Is that what this is?
You don't see any teeth, no. But
Okay.
now that you think about it, it does seem to the walls seem to have a fairly consistent groove to them. Almost a grooved rifling.
It's just a gun.
Climb inside. We'll launch it back up to the surface.
Yeah, we're done with this.
Space laser.
Yeah.
It is rock, however. It's not metal.
Okay.
And
Or
while
fleshy.
I say rifling, I simply refer to a spiraling groove.
Yeah. It's not, it's not got kind of, saliva running down it or anything on those lines.
No. Almost a sort of glassy texture to the stone as well, or at least a fairly polished sheen, but not moist in any way.
I guess it makes sense to send my Bebop down to scout out the area and have a little look round, see what he can see.
Okay.
Send him off and
you both are down to only one card, and opposed to you two players asking me a question about the environment, you are specifically sending sensors out to investigate, which sounds like the deployment action to me, which is a card flip.
Okay.
So
I'm happy to do that.
All right. As it seems you are fairly confident with the final card you kept.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to send your sensor drone, your beep boop bop, down under the earth, and I'm going to ask you a question, and your answer becomes canon if you win this card draw. So let's see what you got to beat. My card is a 6 of hearts.
Mine.
You got this. Yeah.
It's a jack. Yes.
All right. You can throw both of those in the discard. So.
Oh no. Okay.
So Tal, I do believe. I will go back and check. I will separate this because I do believe card flip offs are
get discarded.
Discard.
Yeah.
You don't. It would, if you kept the win, it would just kind of keep recycling itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question I want to ask then, and your answer becomes the truth. Okay. So I will give you a little bit of information and then ask a follow-up question.
Okay.
The sensors on the Beepo Bop detect and pretty much confirm that this spiraling groove is in not enough of a regular pattern that it looks mechanical, but is in enough of a regular pattern that it looks intentional. So it looks like some sort of creature or primitive digging device used by some sort of creature created this very large hole. And again, it's 10, 12 feet in diameter. And you can send your Beepo Bop down, and it does sort of take these long, winding, snaking curves, sort of meandering through the ground, sometimes to the left, sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes to the right. It just seems to snake through the earth down here. And in places intersect with other similar tunnels. And the Beepo Bop does pick up some organic residue, something that may be something akin to the shedding of a snake. Some sort of scaly skin-like flaking is found here or there, and you also find these large deposits of metal, but they're all sort of melted, almost like took the wax drip down. But those clumps of metal are extremely radioactive, dangerously radioactive. So with all of that information, the seeming intent of the construction of this tunnel, that organic residue and byproduct that you found. My question to you, Tal, is, aside from the extremely radioactive piles of melted metal, what is the... Is that a good question? What is the greatest hindrance? Maybe not the greatest danger, though it could be so, but what is the greatest hindrance to somebody traversing this tunnel?
Okay.
Because this does seem to be the only instance of going down that you have seen since arriving, in this shell sector.
Ooh, good question.
If you would like the time to think, we are actually at a fairly good spot for a break.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Yes, please.
All right. Let's take a quick break as Tal decides to invent whatever next cataclysmic obstacle that they will then have to face. Yeah, I think we are very close to rolling for the portal clue and moving on. So stick around, folks. We're going to get up, stretch, do all of the human things and the 4 and 5 dimensional supernatural eldritch being thing that we all may have to do. And then we will be back here in about 10-15 minutes or so for presumably the conclusion of the radio zone.
Cool.
All right. Enjoy some tunes, folks. We'll be back in a bit.
In a bit.
Hello, folks. We are back for more at Its Core here on Star Metal Productions. And last we left off, as our intrepid scientists are being assaulted by gigantic cattails. almost got a pet cam. There we are.
There he
There's
is.
Kitty.
Yeah.
Anyway, last we left our intrepid scientists, they had stumbled upon, or almost into, a cavernous hole in the ground, carved up through and seemingly out of the radioactive forest floor that is the radiation particle zone. down here at a depth of, where are we at? Around 3,800 kilometers is a large, dark, bioluminescent lit jungle. They managed to evade some of those radiation specters that seemed at first curious and then quite agitated. They have investigated what seems to be discordantly singing biomechanical plants, and currently, Dr. Undermoon has sent his Beepobop, his AI-powered sensor drone, down into this hole. And we will pick up with what Tal has decided is the greatest hindrance to the next leg of their journey.
Okay. So, what we discover is it can be best described as what we'd recognize as almost like a hall of mirrors. But actually, it's walls that are see-through, jutting out at different positions within the tunnel itself, making navigation quite difficult because it's a complex geometric kind of pattern that it's rough enough to look like it might be a natural formation, but we're not sure. The problem is that when the Bebop kind of like bumps into it, you can see an electrical current runs through these almost mirror-like objects. So, it's all very well kind of, finding a way through, but it is electrified as well.
Okay. So are they mirror-like or are they translucent?
Ooh, good question. I would say they're translucent.
Okay, so they are nigh imperceptible until you bump your nose into them.
And get an electric shock, yes.
Yep. Okay. And you say these are sort of jutting out of these tunnels at strange angles.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. I can work with that.
Dear Substratum Protocol Master, I do believe on my sheet there is a slight problem, as in there is a I only have one stress left, and I seem to remember that I have fully upgraded my stress, and I just want to make sure that everyone watching understands that I am not going mad
Yes.
anymore.
That is the case. You have gotten all the free cards that you are going to get.
Yes, that was the last time I was going to get
Yep.
8 cards, so give me what I need.
Okay, so turn this on. No, we got rid of that. Just play around with this here. I think I'm going to have to fix the overlay. That's
That's fine.
Yeah.
So I have 2 extra stress on top of those dots, correct? Is that upgraded twice?
Yeah, because you bought one, didn't you, at the start?
Yep.
And then you've upgraded once, I think, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you started the game with 2 less stress than
That's right.
Dr. Undermoon.
That's right, yes.
That's
So
right.
you basically just upgraded your suit up to
Look, that's
minimum
given me.
to rub further salt into the wound.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
But good pointing out. Yes, the overlay should now reflect that. Okay.
So I would like to make a dash break action to just careen through all these.
Just grab a nice hollowed out half of a log there and just
Yeah, just run
down through this giant worm tunnel.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it is a solution. It is a way forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, after a good half hour, 45, maybe even an hour, traversing these tunnels takes a while for the Beep Boop Bop. It can move at a pretty good clip, but they are long winding tunnels, and yet it has to really keep spatially aware with all of its sensors so it does not get lost. Fortunately, robots tend to be smarter than us fleshy people. But after a considerable amount of time, the Beebo Bob will come back with a very rough map of the area it was able to survey, and there's a few intersections, but indeed it is sort of this large scribble of intersecting, winding tunnels that do ultimately lead down coreward after a fair trek. But on top of that, you can see as it bobs its way up out of the hole in the ground, you can see it's taken a little bit of damage, probably bumped into a few of those electrified protrusions, and it's taken some scuffs and burn scars. Some of its paint has chipped or burned away, but it's still functional. Yes. So you could continue to rifle around up here in the jungle, but it does look like what is the opposite of onwards and upwards? I guess just onwards and downwards for
Yeah.
for folk.
Backwards and downwards.
Yep.
So I mean, we know that the whatever root system leads downwards anyway. So now that we have found an ingress into the downward way, I suppose we should just go down and try to see if we can find the source.
Okay. So I'm gonna do something. I'm kind of gonna overlap two actions here, two rules articles here, and hopefully I can keep it straight and make it all work. But this will be a combination of closing out this sector, finding a bit of information toward your portal clue, and leading into the next travel roll. So now that you have this map of these tunnels and have some information about them, it looks like it's going to be really the only way onwards and downwards. So who would like to lead between the two of you down these glassy, carved out tunnels?
That would be what, dash and evade?
That is dash plus whatever you think is best. Evade would make sense for looking, getting out of the way of the strange translucent electrified fields, but you could certainly make an argument otherwise.
Dash and think then sounds a little bit more. So I have 2 d8s. What do you got, Tel?
Let me see. I have dash and think. I have 2 d10s.
Oh, well. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I will. Don't know what the cat's doing. I will lead the charge on this, and I've got my little scribbled map, which my Bebop has kindly drawn for me. And hopefully I should be able to follow it through and not end up char grilled.
Yep.
Now, since he has that map, does he have any sort of advantage that's assisting him with that? Because he did win the draw.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go with advantage. So you said they're both the same die,
Both
right?
the same, yeah.
So you can roll whichever comes up lowest.
Cool.
So let's see what we got here. We got an 8 of hearts and a 9 of clubs. Some fair numbers to hit, but you got a chance.
2 d10s, so 3 and a 1. Ugh. Let's re-roll the 1.
Yep.
Well,
God.
well, how the luck has
Seven.
turned.
That was a 3 and a 1, 1 into a 4, for a total of 7.
Yeah, fail both of them.
Yep. A 7 does not beat an 8 or a 9.
No, it does not, and I have no cards to play with, so total failure.
Yep. On a travel check,
God.
which is, well, actually rather perfect. Okay. So,
No.
um,
Sorry, if you get a weird message from my cat in Roll20, just going,
yeah.
it's not me. Dang cat.
Okay.
Awful.
Yeah, I think this actually all comes together. We're playing a little fast and loose with in this specific moment, but I think this all works. So, a complete failure on a travel check. The path is treacherous. Both of you mark a point of stress.
No.
We'll
Sorry.
mark that on our overlay.
It's like having the Cheshire Cat on my shoulder, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
You can only see like his head. If you go,
I need
go do something.
this one. Let me just real quick mess with our overlays. This is add existing, go down. Hopefully these are, yes. De-stress 1. Right. So we know, just so we all know what we are working with here.
I lost 3 stress. Jesus.
No, I just needed that.
I know
Take
it's a
that,
bad
Sal.
roll. And wow.
Take that.
Oh, I've really got us lost this time.
To unlock that, move that down here. There we go.
What are you looking at, Cat?
Whatever I want, Father.
So you were all the way at full here.
Yes, I was, yes.
So you will go down from 4 above maximum to 3 above maximum. All right. So a treacherous journey indeed, and this will introduce a new complication, one I actually already had in mind. So I think this will just make it a bit more treacherous, in fact. So you two begin your journey, and thanks to the bebop, you're able to navigate around at least the first sizable chunk of these weird pain-like crystalline that seem to, defying common electrical properties, actually hold and store and violently discharge a fairly large voltage of electricity on contact. And you can feel you can feel the static electricity in the air, even through your suit as you are moving through. Your HUDs get a little fuzzy every time you pass by one, but it doesn't disturb the function of your suit. And every so often, you hear that high-pitched but quiet trilling sound, and a rumble of these tunnels, loose stones and other detritus down here shaking along the floor. And at times, the decline of these tunnels is so steep that you do have to tack off a python and scale your way down to a more easily navigable descent. But every time you do accidentally nudge one of those panes or sort of thump down a little too hard, a little too loudly on the ground as you what's the term? Belay yourself downwards. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We also lost the eyes camera, which has thrown off our overlay, but stay tuned. I imagine he'll be. Every time you do so, every time you nudge one of these panes or make any sort of loud noise, once again, you hear that trilling. And it does seem to be getting louder each time you do so. The rumbling becomes a bit more intense. And after a few days of this, because this is the overall travel to the next sector, after a few days of this, passing by a number of these panes that have come, that have jutted out of the wall, some of them broken even, you can continue to see these tubule, like fiber tubule roots continue to break through these tunnels, even though you are traveling kilometers and kilometers and kilometers down to through and cling to the walls of this tunnel. And then you realize, all right, I think it dawns on you both that whatever that noise is, whatever that rumbling is, it is dangerously close. It's no longer a quiet trill. It's not blaringly loud, but it's enough to make your eyes twitch.
Great.
And you get to a section where the tunnel is relatively straight, with a few intersections here or there. The beep boop bop trailing ahead of you, trying to make as much of a map as you can and help to illuminate the area. And then you see something moving off in the distance of that tunnel, coming towards you at a surprisingly fast pace.
No.
What do you do? Push forward, backtrack, attack.
We stand and fight.
Quick, 3D print laser rifles.
Yes.
It's too bad you've all used all of your cards.
Yeah, good point. Well, I mean, does this thing take up the whole tunnel? Is it kind of,
I am giving you fair warning at the point where it is just perceptible. You are not making out any detail.
Yeah.
So you could attempt to push forward to get a better idea of what it is, or otherwise deploy sensors, or even radio back to the observatory initial findings and ask about expert analysis, or otherwise just boogie in one way or the other.
Now, the what do you call it? This maze that we've been going through, this translucent thing. It doesn't look like these have been broken, correct?
Some of those translucent panes have indeed been broken. Yes.
Okay, but is it something like a lot of them have been broken, or it just seems like a couple have been broken by accident?
I mean, you can't ascertain intent, but
right.
There does seem to be a pattern to them. You'll see a few of them that are broken, and then it goes down another one of these tunnels that continues the broken pieces without taking a turn at a different point in the intersection. You would find that those panes that are sort of almost crystalline like growing intact.
So what I'm suggesting we do is just kind of move ourselves out of the line of what would be the most so the path with the least amount of obstacles. We want to get away from that as quickly as possible. Get to a place where there's more of these panes than less of them, and hope that it will try to find a path of least resistance and not have to go through the multitudes of panes that we have traversed. So basically going sideways away from this path
I mean, that's definitely an option. I was thinking maybe we could construct some kind of using the electricity that's flowing through these panes. We could construct an electronic barrier that might repel this creature.
Well, if this creature is, and this is, if we are to assume that this thing goes through this tunnel anyway, it doesn't seem like it's greatly affected by electric energy because it's barreling through the panes that are filled with electrical energy. So my assumption that the only thing that keeps it from just destroying everything in here is that it doesn't want to extend the energy to do so. So just getting out of its way is probably the better choice.
I bow to your knowledge on these matters, sir.
So that's going to be a dash and evade. Or
Yeah,
dash and
so.
think, actually. Actually, a dash and think actually would also work. I'll do a dash evade, 2d8.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that works.
Go for it. Come on, you got this.
All right, what do we got? We have...
Oh, yes.
Nice and easy. And a 7 of hearts. Doable.
Okay. Yeah. Way, look at that.
All right.
Oh,
and for the first time in a long time,
no.
I'm not suffering any penalties.
Oh, no. My luck's turned.
Get ready to suffer. Get ready to suffer as I have suffered.
Right towards the finale. Great.
Yeah. Chosen one has gotten what he deserves, finally.
Okay. So,
amazing.
I think in order to do this, you said you want to generally perpendicular to this thing as much as you can.
Yeah.
So you have to quickly, the two of you, dash forward to the next section of tunnel and examine which direction seems to have more of these broken panes than the other. And you have to quickly send your beat boat bop down one and the other, and it's getting close. You can feel the rumbles, you hear the trilling, and that shifting darkness down at the end of the tunnel, definitely tell is getting closer. But you quickly make a judgment call, throw yourself down one tunnel, and I imagine you have to sort of slide down on the side of the suit down one of these steep embankments, throwing yourself one way or the other to the way of the intact panes that you are looking to sort of use as a barrier. But doing this as quickly as is required, and also potentially vibration, and interacting with the sort of static electricity field that through and betwixt each of these panes to some degree. And as you are quickly moving, dodging from side to side, underneath, vaulting over all of these electrified obstacles, you look back in time to see, and here's the nightmare fuel for this episode. Not a giant, purple worm-like creature. This is not a dune sandworm situation. No, this is something far, far more alien. It looks like an organic ring, a torus, if you will, and it's surrounded by these spines, teeth, claws. You're not really sure what to call them because it doesn't conform to any biological standard. It doesn't seem to have any limbs or a mouth necessarily, though I imagine you don't want to get close enough to really find out. But the spines, claws, teeth, whatever they are on the exterior of this ring is digging into the rock ahead of it, pushing through, pulling up that rock, and wrapping back around to the inside of the ring to push what it dug up into the center of that torus. And you can make out just the glint of the sort of orangish glowing. You're not sure what they are. They may be eyes on the flat part of the torus ring, or some other sort of sensory organ, you're not sure, but it seems to be effortlessly grabbing sections of the digging in a sort of twisting pattern, that rifling like shearing of the wall, and then depositing it into the center of that ring that makes up this creature. And it gets to the intersection where you were at, turns down towards you, smashes through one of those panes, and the trill increases briefly. Smashes and grabs through another pane as you two are, running forward yourself from one side to the other. Smashes through another pane, the trilling getting louder and louder. And then you begin to get worried that it is going to overtake you. You don't want to be eaten by whatever the hell this. And then it smashes through a fourth pane and then stops, throws itself over to a different side of the wall, and you can see it grab that wall and begin spinning and ripping at the stone as it creates a new tunnel down and away from the section you guys are fleeing.
Wow.
That was a good time to get a
Horrendous.
complete success, because that would have gone very badly.
Now for Dr. Daring to go and talk to this thing.
Right. Hey, come back!
Come back, I have things to tell you.
So you managed to do that without incurring any additional negatives, but just for the actually we'll get to the results of the after this point. So you guys have a lot of information for this sector that we are in. I've given you lots of data points. So who would like to make the study roll to try to find a portal clue, and how would you go about one, justifying what you are, taking the pieces, and how are you putting them together?
So I guess it would make sense in kind of my thinking of how the kind of these routes which we saw coming down, these kind of fiber optic cables, are they kind of connected to these transparent electrical pieces? Is it part of the same organism, as it were? And what does that tell us about what we're actually facing?
Yeah, good point. So let me actually also add that as this creature, whatever it is you saw, when its body passed by the fiber tubule roots that cling to the wall, they did seem to light up briefly. And as it passed by them, you noticed from the exterior of the torus ring, it did begin to excrete some of that melted metal that you found in radioactive clumps on the ground. So it wouldn't be far-fetched to say that the creature is somehow, whether purposefully or simply a coincidental byproduct, doing something to the data or electromagnetic impulses that these roots are bringing up to the surface, and then projecting, broadcasting betwixt each other all throughout. But the panes themselves don't seem to be a byproduct of the creature. But they do seem to grow in areas that the creature has. This is where your actual scientific especially comes in handy. Your geochronology. You can tell that the sections of the tunnel that are oldest have the most intact panes.
So,
And we don't see any evidence that once these panes are broken, they somehow rebuild or get replaced or...
How would you go about determining that?
I guess we could break a piece off, and then see if it observe it to see if it heals itself.
Well, I will say, even if you sit down here for a whole day, if you chip a piece off, you don't see any noticeable growth. But in a sort of crystalline fashion, these it would take time to grow or repair.
Okay.
Because it would be, I mean, if this project has been going on for as long as we think it has, and this ecosystem has been around for as long as we think it has, it would bend the mind a little bit to say that, I mean, I would highly be suspicious that this is the only worm, and that this system does not have a way to bypass and or repair itself after millennia. The only way that I could possibly see us figuring that out in a small amount of time is seeing if there are broken pieces of panes near where there is full paintage. It's not quite the word I wanted to use, but like seeing that there are shards around a place where there is no broken panels.
Ah, good idea. Okay. I will say, over the course of the track that you have done thus far and continue to do as you are making your way to the next sector, you can keep an eye out for this. And I will say that, yes, not frequently, but you do, every several days come across areas where you can find this very fine glass-like sand underneath areas that look like there are full and semi-full panes jutting out of the wall.
Okay.
Nice. So yeah, so I guess in terms of the clue, I guess we're trying to work out how the creature and the tubular kind of roots are all connected, and where they are communicating, what are they actually saying?
I mean, it could even be so that the information that is being processed by the plants above us and the panes around us are actually the worm itself, the torus ring, I guess is what we're being called, the TR. Is that the TR itself is the delivery mechanism? That there is no direct connection from the plants to wherever this information is supposed to go, but that this worm itself is carrying the information to a designated place.
Collects and delivers information, maybe?
Yep.
All right. Well, whatever pieces you decide to try to put together to formulate this clue, one of you can make that study check, think plus whatever you think is relevant, according to what you are trying to put together.
I would like to sway the Taurus ring.
I mean, sway could be used in trying to interpret for lack of a better word, radioactive music that the plants are emitting, and how the damage or aggravation of those plants change the harmony and
Ooh.
So it'd be
yeah, go for that.
So sway and think. Okay, that's a D6 and a D10.
Yeah, do it.
What is the pain you will give me?
Let's see. Has the luck flipped on its head?
Yes.
4 of diamonds. And a
That's
9 of
doable.
hearts.
So let's
That
roll
is-
1d10 plus 1d6. Now I
And you
have
do
3.
need to get both cards in order to, actually, let me double check this. Does it get both cards to obtain or get both cards to understand? Let me just look this up real quick because it's been a minute since we played. Hang with me, folks. This is, come on, there's the understand rules, travel rules, study. Yes, you need to get both cards in order to obtain the port. So you have 3 cards in your hand, so if they're
So
augment this
flashback
roll.
would be 1 or 2 cards.
It is a 1-card flip off.
1 card flip off.
If you win the flip, you get advantage. If you lose, you get disadvantage.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
All
Do
right.
it.
I have a
Yes.
10. I have a 10. So I have more than a. Well, I don't know if we have more than 50. There's
No,
actually. Looking at these cards, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of low cards in that.
You can do it. You got to believe in it.
I know because I tried believing it before and it fucked me. No, I'm
I
not
think you
believing
have
it.
failed every one of these.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to spend a card. No, fuck it. Nope, I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay.
If you have 2 same suited cards, you can drop those for a +1.
I don't.
Okay.
I do not.
You just got to do a straight roll then.
I think I just got to do a straight roll.
Hmm.
There's too many low cards in that to try this 10, and I can't get disadvantage. That would suck too bad.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think.
So we'll keep it as it is.
You
I got a 4 and a 9.
I did it. I did it.
Yeah, you are low enough stress. I don't need to take
Yes.
anything away from that. All right.
Oh.
Excellent. And you got 5 cards now. See? It's all coming good.
Very nice.
There's a lot of face cards coming up on us. Like this is good.
Yeah, I know.
Can we force a reshuffle?
Just get into the end of the stack. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you put all of these pieces together, let's see what you spit out of your new alien brain box.
Yay,
so
alien
as we have done
brain.
before, you and I will roll a d6, and you let me know whether you digit the tens.
That was thanks. So that needs to go down to a D4. Okay. I will take the singles because I think I took the
Okay. So mine is the tens digit. So that's 20 something. 22. That doesn't exactly fit, but I might be able. Okay. All right.
It don't work. It don't work. We re-roll. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, let's re-roll to see if we get something appropriate.
Well, I rolled the same thing. So
Okay. 1d6. It's a 32 this time. Ooh, no, I like this much better. Okay. All right. Oh boy. This is going to be fun. So, after your quick sprint away from what grinding maul of a creature this was, you do realize you are getting further and further down, and you have come across areas where you have had to do something similar. Now that you've seen one of these creatures before, determined to and helps deter it, you're better able to navigate. There's indeed many more than just one of these worms, which makes sense because it's covering probably hundreds of thousands of square kilometers. But as you go deeper and deeper, the concentration of these glass panes coming, thicker and thicker. And it gets to a point where you have to be, you cannot move with any alacrity anymore. You have to be very careful. These things are barely perceptible. You are probably using some sort of ultrasound, some sort of ultrasound like radar ability to just bounce off the physicality of these panes.
Okay.
Because they're very difficult to see. But in doing that, you do have to slow down. They're so frequent and overlapping that you do just have to step past one and shimmy along, step a few paces forward and shimmy back the other way, duck underneath them, pigeon off and vault over some of them. But they are becoming quite frequent going this direction. And yeah. You get to a point where it looks like it's almost an iris in this tunnel, how overlapping these panes are. They're not stacked right on top of each other like a proper Stargate iris, but they're overlapping enough in a spiral pattern that looking through multiple panes at a time, you can see this shimmer. It's almost rainbow iridescent shimmer that travels through them, and you only see this little aperture that may just be large enough for you guys squeeze through, but that might take some scaffolding building. And then you see just beyond that aperture, actually I think it's only Dr. Daring who sees it with your eyes, Dr. Daring. You're not sure how you see it.
My special alien eyes.
Yeah, I cannot describe it to you, Tal, and the eye and audience, because you do not have this extra sensory organ or extra spot in your brain for determining what this is. You just sprout a single tentacle, a single antennae. No. But you, Dr. Daring, are aware that just beyond that aperture left in the center of these overlapping panes, there's an unstable and highly fluctuating micro tear in space-time that is sending out these waves shimmering through these panes. And you know that is where you need to go.
That's really cool.
So I will add this to our portal clues. And actually, since we are not saving this to the next episodes, because we still have at least half an hour, we can work on the understanding next. But let's see, this is, I'll just call it electropane aperture with micro tear of space-time.
Nice.
So, I will leave it to the two of you, whether it is Dr. Daring or Dr. Undermoon, who would take this new information. I think as Dr. Daring points it out, and I'll let you guys RP that if you point it out, Dr. Undermoon, you cannot sense it in any way, but calibrating your sensor in some fashion to pick this up, you can confirm that there's something there. Your system throws back enough errors. I mean, you don't understand what a micro fissure in the fabric of reality is supposed to look like, but there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
And Dr. Daring seems to know what it is and that it is important in your journey.
As Dr. Daring senses this, he kind of just falls to his knees, and there is prostrating himself almost to this vision. But this would still be downwards from him, right?
Yeah. Not a too high of a decline, but definitely downward. Yeah.
But like, imagine the prostration that religious people do, where they have their hands out and they're looking up. Instead, he has his hands out and he's looking down, and his eyes shift colors to almost the same iridescent like glow that this thing is giving off, and he just goes, "It's beautiful."
I mean, if you want to take the understanding on this, I would.
I mean, so understanding is thinking what?
Sorry, dying real quick.
Yeah, it's fine.
Understanding is indeed think and what.
Oh, okay. Think whatever I want. Well, my think currently is at a D4 because I've used it twice since I upgraded. So I think you're probably at a better chance for think.
Okay.
So I may be just so enamored by what I'm seeing that I don't care to understand it.
No, absolutely. Well, I guess I need to. I guess at this point, what I need to do is create a computer program that will allow the suit to analyze this phenomenon and give me an understanding on a scientific level what we're actually dealing with.
Okay.
So I was thinking kind of make and think.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you're going to have to you're really going to have to think back to a lot of theoretical concepts from your education, and not a lot of them overlapping with geochronology, except maybe the chronology part of that. I think there was one of the more esoteric professors of your learning days may have had this wacky theory that was not supported by his colleague Daniel Jackson. Aliens landed on the pyramid, sort of thing. Insofar as he seemed to believe that he found some way of dating objects with more precision without needing radioactive carbon decay, something further and beyond just carbon dating, that has to do with some very difficult to perceive and measure quantity of neutrinos, their spin and oscillation, and some sort of graviton time particle. Is mostly.
I would add to that to a few select people, when perhaps the drink took him, he would relate back to how he believes he'd lost a certain amount of time, which he can't account for, but he knows that he lost it. And he, kind of during that period, he suddenly found some of the stuff he talks about was written in this journal, but he's got no kind of knowledge of how it kind of like just suddenly appeared there. So he knows that he lost time in some way, but it's not something he obviously talks about to any students. Only the ones that maybe buy him a drink and are prepared to listen to his ramblings.
All right. Well, you currently have no cards left to augment this roll in any way.
I really don't. This is going to be horrible. And as we said, there's lots of horrible cards coming up. But I have a D8 and a D6. Let us see what I can produce with these.
Yes, and I believe it's the same rule once again. You need to get both of them for a proper understanding.
Yeah. I have my lucky cat
There
with
it
me.
is.
So...
You better do well, father, or you will suffer.
Okay. All right.
Let's do this.
Let's see what we got. Can we comprehend this tear in space-time?
Oh,
A queen of diamonds.
why?
That's not going well. And a
Okay.
4 of hearts. So you got to beat a 12.
Okay. So statistically, I can do it.
Statistically.
Statistically. Okay. Come on, D6.
Off to a
Horrible
good
start. Horrible. No, don't say that. It's horrible start. Bad start.
I can't. Oh, okay. I can do it. Oh, you.
Yep.
Well.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That is a big 8.
Yep.
8 beats 12, right? How that your math
Yeah,
works?
yep. So I get,
maybe beyond the tear in in the fabric of reality, 8 and 8 beat a 12. But on this side of the fissure, 8 certainly does not beat a 12.
Do I take the 4?
You will take the 4. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's something, but yeah.
But,
Damn it!
I think that's the first one we failed. First,
Don't know. We failed another. Well, I failed another one.
so
Really?
we have been through
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th sector. So you have missed one portal clue, whether it was you missed even finding one portal.
Yeah, that was
and
me.
I think this is the first time you have found a portal clue but are unable to understand it.
And that was me as well. Yeah, I'd like to think that like for the briefest moment he's got it. He understands it. And then all of a sudden it's 10 minutes later and it's gone.
Okay.
And he's left with the memory that he knew something, but no.
I mean,
yeah,
Dr. Daring went through the very similar thing where he understands the entire universe and suddenly he doesn't.
No, I think that is spot on. I like that description. You are just on the precipice of understanding something that would be so profound that it may shatter your understanding of what space, time, and reality even is. But you just can't get there. You just can't get. You know it's there. You know there's an ultimate truth that is eluding you, but you can't get there, and that causes you a point of stress.
Can I just say there is a lingering in his mind there is, and he doesn't know if he imagines this or whether it's actually said, there's just this not worthy. And it kind of then just drifts away. And that was, he's like, did I think that? Did somebody tell me that? Oh my God.
Very nice. So while you are dealing with the existential dread, failing to comprehend some hidden knowledge, I think we also see our other scientist, Dr. Daring, existentially coming to terms with perhaps understanding something that he could not have before. So, Tal, go ahead and mark down in the upcoming sector, you will have a floating advantage that you can use.
Ooh, amazing.
So you don't get the portal clue, so we can't count that towards the ultimate portal later on, but you do get enough information, enough of sort of granted intuition, whether that was granted beneficially or malignantly, you're not sure. But there's some grain of knowledge or some weird push of intuition in the next, based on what you almost comprehended here.
Love it. Love it.
So, this is the direction you have to take. Dr. Daring knows that. Dr. Undermoon, you're probably not as certain.
No.
1, there's a lot of electrified glass panels. 2, there's a tear in the fabric of reality. And 3, something just shuts your brain down at the very precipice of understanding. But Dr. Daring is adamant that that aperture, that tear in space-time, is the doorway into the next leg of your travels. And I believe once DI comes back, we can play my favorite variant of D&D, Doors and Dialogue.
Doors and dialogue.
Oh no.
Okay. So I know that that's where I need to go, but I don't necessarily have the right path to get there, correct?
Yeah, the glass panes, it would be quite treacherous to try to move in between them, but the aperture in the center of where those panes they don't meet at the center, there's enough of a hole that you could probably fit through, but of course that's, in the center of a 10-foot diameter tunnel.
Well, if that's the only path I can see, that's where we're going.
Yeah, it's a matter of how, because the glass panes are quite electric.
Yeah.
Smash them, you don't know whether that would do anything to the tear, or you could build some sort of item or scaffolding. Or
how
You have
far
your
up do the
printers.
panes go up to the ceiling, or are they just stand
So they're
alone?
jutting out of the walls.
Okay.
So they're jutting out this way, and the next one here, 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 and just spiraling around, creating that sort of iris-like overlap.
Right. And the danger is more like, how much electricity is this thing pushing through, or something that would actually do damage to us, or is it just like a shock and we're like, ow?
Touching one of those panes is enough to do enough damage to you and your suit that it would cause you a point of stress. And you would probably, there's a fair chance, just sort of bungling forward, that you might touch multiple, be quite bad.
And I don't necessarily want to destroy these panes in case it does affect the destination.
Oh, yeah.
That's a rough one.
Well, we don't really have much of a choice, I suppose, do we?
I have an idea. I just don't know how I would do it.
I mean,
You want to hear my crazy idea?
at this point, I don't think any ideas are off the table.
We get the worm to give us a path.
Well, maybe that one.
There are no bad ideas.
I mean,
we know that they can make paths in the stone.
what are you suggesting? We ride on its back or something?
All I am suggesting is that if we are able to get the worm to go into a path that we designate, that we can follow it. We don't necessarily need to ride it.
I see.
A carrot on the stick scenario, I think, would be a good way to put it, where you somehow are able to direct the thing to move into the direction we are going and follow it through.
And you think you could achieve that?
As I said, I had an idea. I don't know how to do it.
Um, hmm. Hmm. I mean,
You know what? We haven't done this in a while.
go on.
I'm going to contact Base.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Okay.
Good shout. Good shout.
All right. So you can radio back to the Fracture Observatory and ask a question. This will be a card flip, and if you win, I will give you, a proper answer, and if you lose, I will give you some sort of answer that is.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
This has never worked out for me before, but
Well, why not?
Well, let's see how the connection is. That is a 10 versus.
I fucking knew it.
No.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can even do about that because it's not a skill check.
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm never doing this. If I ever play this game again, I'm never doing that mechanic ever again. It's never worked out for me.
No.
Well, you can still contact them. The message you get back is going to, I think, too deep for real-time voice communication. So you kind of have to hang out for a day or so, and you're getting data packets that you're going to have to, parse through and decode and whatnot. So what is the question you would like to ask?
The best way to go to this location where you're trying to go to without breaking these panes, or at least being able to temporarily turn off the panes so that we can traverse past them safely.
Okay. All right. So I think you are going to have to camp down here for a couple days.
Which makes sense considering how much distance these messages need to take.
Yeah, you have to send it over quite a large distance, and I imagine you've been dropping, every so long.
Put a transceiver every few miles or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But on top of just the distance this message needs to travel, the eggheads up top need a little while to take in the data that you send them and come up with some solutions. So, let's see.
As we're designating these packets, we're like running back and forth past these worms. Like, all right, so we got this. All right. Oh shit. Oh, no.
It's just a Scooby-Doo scene of we have the two of you run in one direction.
Yeah.
Eldritch creature comes out another hole and.
Yep.
Okay. So, garbled yet vaguely used. So it's not gonna give you a clear idea, but some possibilities. So, anything that is electrified, and again, I'm gonna make a big asterisk screen here. I am not a scientist in any way, shape. So we're going a little techno badly here, but as far as I'm aware, anything that is electrified can be grounded to redirect the current. Or you could be grounded or otherwise isolated in some manner to redirect the current. So you get a partial blueprint for what looks like some kind of rubberized. You're not exactly sure what it is. The blueprint isn't complete, but it looks like some sort of sheath that you may be able to construct, clamped onto each of the end of each of these panes to create a almost tunnel, let's say, between them, a grounded tunnel.
A big
them.
a big rubber slide.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. That would be an option. You get back. You're not exactly sure what the ultimate end is to this section of the data pack, but get a few key points on the walls and the ceiling and the floor of this tunnel before the panes and after the panes, designated as anchor points. But whatever the next step or ultimate end to that they devised is too distorted.
I mean, we could also just make a sheath for ourselves, right? Like,
yeah.
we could just basically an outer layer suit that surrounds our I'm going to start calling it our despair units. And be able to, even if we do need to get into a tight quarters, if we do need to touch one of these panes, at least we don't get the shock.
Yeah, so there's all of that, which does support what we came up with, and then there collects data around like theoretical that is like way that some crazy egghead up top may have put down. And then the last suggestion is break them.
Yeah. So I think I am going to attempt to, and this would be another card flip, right? To make an item. Is that how it works?
So yes, the 3D printer, you can.
Make me do another fucking card flip.
It is a card flip. Yeah, but you can choose how many cards you would like to ante up, I suppose.
So you flip one, so you flip one, and I can flip more than one. Is that what I'm getting?
So, lay down cards versus mission control up to the max. The mission control, each card lay down. For each card that you win, the item becomes more powerful.
Okay. So for every card that I put down, you also flip one. But if I win more than one, it makes it better.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got one card and it's a 4, so I am no use to you in this matter at all.
I have a 9, but I'm noticing that none of the kings have been drawn yet, or jacks, for that matter. One jack.
There's only one ace in there as well.
Yeah, but I think he has.
I know. No, one of them. That ace is in the pile. I mean, that's what we gotta do. I mean, I don't really have a choice here.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Okay. Well, so let's define some parameters. I will say if you want to make that sort of rubberized tunnel, that's a fairly simple item that is more prone to failure than the more difficult item that would be creating some sort of grounding addition to your exosuit. But you would need to design and maybe not customize, but you're basically building 2 of them. One for you, one for Dr. Undermoon. So I think the single rubberized tube, you're only going to need 1 card. But for the potentially longer lasting, more insulating, and less prone to failure, doubled application of whatever grounding element you come up with would require 2 wins.
Yeah.
I have a 9 and a 7.
We can flip off as many times as you want.
Oh.
So, yeah, lay down what you would like to ante up first.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's 9
I was just
versus.
Oh.
It's the second time that's happened.
Want to keep going?
Sure, fuck it. Whatever. Yeah, take another one.
7 versus.
Hey!
I was gonna lose without it. Okay. So between the blueprints for all of these being corrupted and jumbled, and just the stress of having to go through, you could either leave this as it is, and you think you compound in the correct, binding clamps to create a rudimentary, scaffolding that you could push yourself through this aperture, or we could keep going if you would to do the more complicated version.
I have a 4 and a 2. I am not continuing.
No,
All right.
no.
So no need to mark this on your sheet because it is one-time use anyway.
Yep.
You can 3D print a number of various rubber and synthetic compounds and attach them to sort of metal clamps with different electrodes, playing with magnetic fields and different electronic principles that I know nothing about. But you are able to create this sort of loose, grounded scaffolding that you can sort of climb up and throw yourself up and over the center of this mostly closed iris.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you did that, so this doesn't need a roll. Then you are properly insulated.
We slide the slide.
So, who's throwing themselves into this Terran reality first? Yeah, that's what I figured.
I wonder.
You think that was a question? That wasn't a question at all.
All right, let me. We are just about closing down here, but I can showcase what we'll be getting into next time. Dr. Daring, you slowly. It's like climbing up one of those rope nets. I don't know if you ever did those. But climbing up one of those rope nets that has just enough slack for it to be annoyingly difficult to keep your momentum going. But you do manage to get yourself up to temperature and throw yourself over. And as you throw yourself over, rolling your shoulder forward to help take the blow, you pass through this tear in space-time. And Dr. Undermoon, you see the shifting warbling of reality. It's like for a split second, there is not free air there. There is like a fishbowl that the camera is moving past, and it just has that sort of CGI effect to it, and a flash, and then Dr. Daring is gone. You don't see him continue moving and roll and hit the ground that you clearly other tear. There's a flash, he is gone. But it was conveyed to you that he 100% believed that was the way to go.
Well, I don't really have any choice, do I? Oh,
I'm going home.
I'm going home.
I like that. This would be the breaking point. Oh no! This is too much for me. No. No.
Wait. No.
Geronimo, I guess. And he attempts to slide down, but actually trips and ends up going down head first.
All right. The both of you, the first sensation you get is not sight or sound or any sense of gravity necessarily. The first sensation you get, it's a weird one to try to describe, but the best you can explain it is you can feel yourself being spaghettified by
Yep,
fluctuations
yeah.
in space-time. You can feel the very being, your very molecules and atoms, electrons, protons, quarks being stretched to the extreme. It's not necessarily painful. It is an unpleasant sensation, but it is not necessarily painful. But you realize you are also aware not only your body being stretched like this, but your exosuit and your consciousness and some sort of other that is also you being pulled and stretched. You can feel all of that. And then in a split second, you are back to your form and spit out, tumbling at a dangerous, not necessarily damaging, but dangerous velocity. The two of you spit out, like in the first couple episodes of Stargate. Just spit out the other side of this tear in space-time. Your suits are covered with ice particles, or at least they look like ice particles. Despite the insulation of your suit, you are shivering, freezing. You have that cold sweat beating down the back of your neck. And you realize as you are being spat out, you know you're traveling at a breakneck velocity. Fortunately, you're in a suit and you will not break your neck, but you know you are traveling that fast. Perception of it is so much. You know you're traveling at speed, but you can feel yourself, you can see yourself, almost as if you are being thrown through jello, molasses, or something. There is a much greater density to around here. Everything is just slowed down and takes a lot more effort, but you do eventually hit the ground and tumble forward. And you look around, you're on this sort of disc. You're not sure if it's floating or if it's sort of hubcapped down on a spindle point, if it's a tower, but you're on this sort of disc composed of oddly angled and slightly different elevations of geometric shapes. Some are short pillars of squares, some are octagons, some are pentagons, or triangles. They all seem to fit together in different overlapping patterns, different elevations to make up this place you have landed. But all around you, you can see darkness. You're not sure it's necessarily the absence of light, but you can see darkness. And you can see jutting out of this darkness in an area more of those geometric obsidian black pillars. But you can see that obsidian black against the nothingness behind them. It's hard for your eyes to really process how you are determining the difference there, seeing black on black, but you can. But as you are taking all of this in, you do realize you slowly. Everything requires so much more effort. Until you take a step forward and suddenly you are outside of that, density field, encumbrance field, and the shift in that sends you quickly dashing and tumbling forward until you come to another pocket of strange space-time density. One of you trips, but you fall in slow time. Enough to catch yourself just barely because your perception, or slower than your perception. But the normal parameters of space and time do not seem to be constant here. You can see floating spheres, but they're not spheres, they're not smooth. They just seem to be general spheres of these overlapping and different elevation geometric shapes come together this sort of almost geodesic sphere, and they're just sort of floating throughout this darkness. And you can hear these low, almost like whale calls echoing throughout this nothingness. But aside from these obsidian cobbled together structures, you don't see any cavern walls. And you're not even sure if what you are on is any sort of stone, any sort of rock you're familiar with. You know you are at or very close to the center of the earth at this point. Dr. Daring even more so. You understand this is where you're heading. There is one more door that needs to be opened. But you are not on Earth anymore. Or perhaps... or perhaps... ...
I think the way that we will end tonight is that this travel, this interdimensional or interplanetary or intergalactic movement, and the radiation that has already affected the both of them has done things to Dr. Daring. And as Dr. Undermoon turns to his colleague, the head of Dr. Daring turns to look at Dr. Undermoon, and the sides of his face have split, and there is just teeth and a grin. And Dr. Daring says, "We've come home."
Fade to black on that groan at its core, period.
Oh my god, no. Oh.
All right. You have
And,
made it to the barrier event horizon.
Oh.
This is the last sort of obstacle sector you need to get to. Get to the actual inner core and the thin.
I mean, should I? Yeah. I mean, I've got one card, and it's a 4.
Yeah. I guess you're gonna have to do it. I guess you're gonna have to do a lot of rolling before you get to the end game.
No. Oh. Do you know what?
Yeah.
I've done really well up to this point, and just as it kicks in, it's where it's all gonna go fucking wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see.
As far as Dr. Daring's concerned, he's gotten everything he wants. He's good. The world can end at this point.
That's a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
That definitely is. Yes. All right. Well, you two will have one last chance to both find and understand final. You have 5 successfully understood already at the expected average for your final portal check, and we will see. We might be able to finish this next session, and then there is a possibility we can move. Since I have already rolled the final at its core end title card there. Quick scheduling update. We will be here next week, unless no, we are finally getting out of August. So unless September decides to be a bitch too, hopefully we will be back here next week. Though there's a distinct possibility it will not be 11th or the 18th. So we will either finish this up next time, or we will get just to the very end and have 2 weeks off to think and scheme of big final finale may involve the innermost portal. Aside from that, stay tuned for announcements on a potential second show on our channel per week.
Yes.
We are almost just there in the final production setup. So hopefully news will be coming soon.
Very exciting.
And then once we wrap up this show, either next week or a couple weeks later, we do have another project coming up. I think is a good segue.
It's me.
Al,
I shall be
intrepid, Dr. Undermoon.
Yes, it should be my turn to torture my colleagues here. So we are going to be
Just a quick cut in. I want to remind you that I have a couple of games in my wheelhouse too. So all of this I am tallying up for my games. Just letting everybody know. Just letting everybody know. All right.
Yeah, but you're loving this, so it's fine.
Doesn't mean I can't tally them up. It's the intent that matters, not whether or not I enjoy it.
We're getting into weird, dangerous territory.
Yeah. I was going to say, I have nothing else on that. Anyway, Daggerheart, yes. That is what we'll be bringing to you in the next few weeks. I am currently writing us a lovely little adventure to take my friends on here. So look out for that in the next few weeks. We'll give some more details on that. It'll be something brand new from us, and and then from there, it'll be somebody else's turn. Possibly the Eye might be bringing us something that will, I assume, terrify us out of our very skins. I shall look forward to that. Apart from that, do go and check out all of our YouTube series we've got. You can catch up with the series we're on at the moment, so at its core. If you've joined us late, do go back and catch up with the previous episodes. We also have Undead Cowboys versus Werewolves, which is our fun first series. You can find that on there as well. And if you're more of a gamer, we have 2 sets of walkthroughs for you at the moment, which are going to be going up on a daily basis. And that is Baldur's Gate 3, for those of you still playing it, which is a massive group of people still. And anybody who's been enjoying Expedition 33, we've just started a brand new series walking you through that as well, assuming that I don't spend all my time dying trying to do stupid counters on it. But yeah, those are all on the YouTube channel, and so if you want a bit of a guide as to where things are and how to do it properly, you can find the details on there. Do like and follow for more information, and of course check the social medias for all the interesting, exciting things that we are up to.
All right. And the human formerly known as Sampson Daring, or the Sampson Daring formerly known as a human, played by the Eye, who is also may or may not be.
Yes, the first story has been conveyed to Jack the Great, and in his time he shall be able to convey it to you. Of the what we were calling it, the lore of Eye. I think that will be a fun little addition, and we'll see how you guys take it. And yeah, we will be putting those out as we can. I am not putting any sort of timescale on Jack because I want him to be able to do it at his own time and with the proper assistance and workarounds to make it pleasing for your eyes and ears. So that's where I will leave that. And once he has the ability to put that out, I will record the second one, and on we go. In terms of ideas, they swirl, and we will see where that brings me in the coming months.
All right. I am excited for more of those stories and to see what you cook up in the game idea, because I know you're working on some good stuff.
Yes. I can't wait for that. It's going to be brilliant.
Briefly to touch on my responsibility for those stories, yes, I have indeed received the raw. Been following along my original.
Keep
You're
losing
cutting
the
out.
channel.
Yeah, we're cutting out, Jack.
Not again. All right. At least I make it to the. Why is it doing this? It's fine all game, as far as I know. Okay, ASMR time, folks. So, yes, over on my channel, the last series I did, Lancer game, the Starcrier conflict, and anybody who out podcast version of that familiar with my love for sound design. So I'm going to take this story and not only play around with all levels and cutting and editing as be, but I will also be adding all sorts of sound effects and ambient sound, music when appropriate, and I think we're going to be able to make this extra spooky and immersive and interesting. So I'm very excited to begin working on that project in time, because that level of editing is a lot. But it's something I enjoy, so stay tuned. I can't promise. I'm not seeing that green bar. I can't promise it's anytime in the coming weeks, but it'll be out when it's out, and when it's out, it'll be good. I hope. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, my microphone is telling me that I have talked and that it is time to wrap up tonight's episode of At Its Core. So thank you, Tal in the Eye, for joining me. I'm cutting out. Very fun session. And thank you, audience, for sticking with us and bearing with my jumbled voice towards the end. All right, let's scatter, everybody. Everyone have a evening, day, week, month, whatever time scale you are operating on, and time here on Star Metal Productions.
Bye.
Bye.